Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is reproduction in human. Today's topic is reproduction in human. In human reproduction, one of the topic is breastfeeding. What are the advantages of breastfeeding? Question usually comes in the O-level examination about the breastfeeding, the benefits of the breastfeeding, the uses, the value of the breastfeeding. So you can write down these points in your copy if you want. Number one, it is uh, cheap, means it doesn't cost anything because mother produces milk, so it is cheap. It does not cost anything. Number two, it is readily available. It is readily available. It means that when the baby needs the milk, it is available for feeding the baby. Next is it contains all the useful it contains all the necessary constituent, all the necessary constituents needed for the baby. It contains all the necessary constituent needed for baby. Next is it is at constant temperature. You know the temperature of the mother is 37 degrees centigrade. So the milk is either 37 degrees centigrade or more, or 36 degrees centigrade. That is very best for the baby to feed on. It is neither at high temperature, so it is difficult for the baby to consume. Neither it is at low temperature. The baby, it will affect the baby. So it is always at the right temperature, the constant temperature of the body. It contains antibodies. It contains antibodies. It contains antibodies to protect the baby. Now, what does antibody do? It fights against the disease. So mother milk contains antibodies to protect the baby from any infection. To protect the baby from any infection. As you know that antibodies play a very important role. So when the baby consumes the mother milk, antibodies there to protect the body from any infection or any disease. Next is that it is one of the also most important thing that breastfeeding also helps to develop the bond between mother and the baby. Has to develop bond between mother and baby. Okay. Okay. Now there are one or two more point I would like to discuss. That you see the mother milk is very good for the baby, for the baby's health. Mother milk is very good for the baby's health because all the constituent present in the mother milk, all the constituent are at are at correct proportion. You see, it means that the calcium, uh, iron, other vitamin D, they are present constant which is ready for the development of the baby. I would like to repeat it again. These are the important points. It is cheap, means it does not cost anything. It is already available whenever the baby needs it. It contains all the necessary constituent needed for the baby. It is at constant temperature. It contains antibodies. And you know what is antibodies? Antibodies, they protect the baby from infection, any infection the baby may. It helps to develop the baby. It helps to develop the bond between mother and baby. Mother milk is very good for the baby's health because all the constituents are at correct portion. Now, one more point I would like to add. Um, baby does not have any allergic reaction, does not have any allergic reaction. You see the allergic reaction. Sometimes it may be that the cow's milk or the artificial milk, that the bottled milk may contain certain substances which may produce allergic reaction in the baby. So mother milk does not produce any allergic reaction in the baby. Okay. Now with this we finish about the breastfeeding and its advantage. Now we will come to the method of family control, family birth control or family control. Okay. So family control, birth control, we come to that. Birth control or family control. How we will control the family. Now, the question is that why birth control is needed? So, according to the medical study, it is said that birth control is very much needed. There should be a gap between the world population has already risen over a few decades. It is already difficult to supply them with enough food to all the areas. Now the solution lies, that is the method of birth control. So we come to the birth control. What are the methods of birth control? We can study under the following heading, birth control. We can study under the following heading. Number one, natural method. This is number one. First method is natural method. It is also known as rhythm method. It is known as rhythm method. It is also known as rhythm method. Natural method is also known as rhythm method. Now, what happens during this rhythm method? You see that in this method, what we do, in this method, we abstain from no sexual activity, or copulation or no sexual activity or sexual intercourse. No sexual activity or sexual intercourse during fertile period. During fertile period. Now, when is the fertile period? You see, fertile period is when the ova is about to release. So, in this period, You see the for if intercourse is prevented, if intercourse is not done, then you see what happens that the fertilization will not take place. So this was one known as a natural method or the method. Okay. Now we come to the second method, that is called okay, we can write 1 point more. During sexual period, no fertilization will take place. No fertilization will take place. Okay, number 2. This is called chemical method. Achha, what happens in the chemical method? In chemical method, we use certain spermicide. We use spermicide, which are put into the vagina of the female. Which is put into the vagina of the female. Vagina of female. Vagina of the female. And it gives the vagina before intercourse, which is put into the vagina of the female before intercourse. Before intercourse, and this is very effective method. This is very effective. This is very effective method. This is very effective method. Now we come to the third point. The third point is mechanical method. The third point is mechanical method. In this method, we can use number A, condom. Condom. It is a rubber sheet. It is a rubber sheet. It is a rubber sheet placed over the penis. Placed over penis before intercourse. Before intercourse. So this is one of the method, and we'll do before intercourse. Then what happens? So it is a rubber sheet worn over the penis before intercourse. It prevents sperm from entering the vagina. Okay. So condom is a rubber sheet placed over the penis before intercourse. It prevents sperm from entering the vagina. So naturally, when the sperm is not there, how will the fertilization take place? The next is femidome. B. Femidome. Femidome is you see, the femidome is a rubber. In this femidome, there are different types. Number one is the diaphragm. Femidome is also No, it is also known as diaphragm. Femidom is also known as diaphragm. It is a cap. It is a cap-like structure. It is a cap-like structure placed in vagina. It prevents sperm. It prevents sperm. It prevents sperms. So femidom or diaphragm, it is a cup-like structure placed in vagina. It prevents sperm from entering the uterus. So naturally what will happen? Fertilization will not take place. Okay, now this was, there's another thing that is called C, intrauterine device. It is called intrauterine device. Intrauterine device. Now this intrauterine device, it is fitted inside the uterus. It is fitted inside the uterus. It is fitted inside the uterus. It is fitted inside the uterus by doctor. It prevents the implantation. It prevents the implantation of the zygote. Implantation of zygote in uterus. Okay, you see, this is a method intrauterine device that is doctors fit this device inside the uterus, and it prevents the implantation of zygote in the uterus. So you see, and this is effective for 2 or 3 years, but it may produce side reaction. So one should take idea from the doctor, consult the doctor whether it is good or not, then insert that intrauterine device into the uterus. So this was the method. Now this was all burial method. Now we come to the next one, that is the hormonal method. Hormone method. Now you see, in this method, the female may take tablet which contains hormone, and it should be taken taken every day. It should be taken regularly. You can say it can be shaken regularly. It should be taken regularly, okay? And this prevents the over from fertilization. This prevents fertilization. Now, this was the hormonal method was the fourth point. Now we come to the fifth point. Fifth point is about the surgical method. We come to the surgical method. Now, this is the most effective method. Surgical method is most effective method, but this is not advised for young couples. So you should take the doctor's decision or doctor idea okay, whether you should use surgical method or not. You see, surgical methods are two types. One is called vasectomy. It is done in male. It is done in male. The sperm duct is cut and tied. The sperm duct is cut and tied. Okay, and it cut and tied. Sperm is not released. Sperm is not released. Sperm is not released, which prevents the fertilization. Process. Now, in surgical method, the second method is done on female. You see, in female, this is the most common method, and in female, the oviduct in female, the oviduct is cut and tied. In female, the oviduct is cut and tied, and as a result, the process of fertilization is prevented. You see, the thing is that this family planning method is generally asked in the O-level papers. They might come with a certain part may be asked to give any two method. So we can give any of the two methods out of the method which I've explained, the 5 methods I've explained. So you can give any of the method which is very conveniently. And I think if you read it once or twice, you can easily answer it. Is it clear? So next we start.